Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTbase.com. Welcome to your weekly COT review. Today we're going to be looking at the 42nd Commitments of Trade Report of 2020. And as we always do, we shall start off by looking at the largest changes in commercials positions. And you may see we've got the crude oil on top of our list with an 11% change in commercials positions. We are talking about the Brent crude, of course. The change size is larger than average, no question about that. We have seen greater changes than the past. It is bearish, suggesting some weakness coming early next week. And that's about it. So that's the COT change signal. Moving on to a longer time horizon, the 5 years chart, we get a chance to examine the COT Extreme situation now. So here we have the recent report, commercials at roughly 15,000 contracts net long, and large speculators at roughly 16,000 contracts net short. Now, you may see a great example from October of 2018 when we had that bearish extreme in the market just at that top, and we're not that far away from those levels. So it's an unquestionable bearish extreme, but of course this could easily become even greater in the next couple of weeks before the market reacts and we see lower prices coming. But it's definitely something to keep our eyes on, and we are expecting some weakness coming in this market based on the crude on the COT report. Okay, the next market is orange juice with a 10% change in commercials positions, and on the 1 year chart you will see that change size. So it's a bit larger than average, but nothing too big. I should say it's coming after some decline in the market, so maybe this signal is a little bit late for us to act upon. If we move on to the 5 years chart, then we see that there's not really an extreme to talk about. So it's pretty obvious that we, for instance, here in January of 2019, we are at bullish extreme levels. Here in July of 2018, we are at bearish extreme levels. And, you know, we're more or less in between those two extremes. So I wouldn't stress myself to really find something in this extreme situation. There's none to talk about. So let's just, move on and search for other opportunities. Let's see, how about cocoa, where we have, again, a 10% change in commercials positions. But in this case, we are talking about a bullish COT change signal. You may see that this is coming after a pretty decent decline in the past couple of weeks. So who knows, maybe this signal is going to push the market higher. We shall see. That didn't happen the last week. Maybe this week it's going to happen. Moving on to the 5 years chart, you may see that, again, we are more or less in between two major extremes. We had a relative bearish extreme back over here in September, was actually successful. The market did decline. We are moving away from those levels, but we're definitely not at a bullish extreme. So, that happens. So we have to be patient to get such an extreme. The example I'm showing to you from February 2020, beautiful example. Huge magnitude of stress level in the market just before it tops. So that's something that is pretty obvious, or the opposite, bullish COT extreme signal from 2017. Stress levels building up gradually throughout the month and years, and at low prices we are expecting a shift in the trend. That happened. Okay, let's move on to large speculators COT Extreme. We've got the natural gas on top of our list with a all-time COT Extreme in large speculators. You may see that on the chart over there. There's no question it is huge and it is bearish. So suggesting that we should see a bit of a decline coming in this market. We had a significant extreme back over here in November of 2018. Good example, what to expect now. We might have to wait for another few more weeks before that happens. So, all-time COT Extreme do seem to be beautiful signals, but they tend to be in the market for many weeks before anything happens. So that's something you should keep in mind. Sugar is our next market, 206 report extreme all over the place, not only in large speculators, but also in commercials. So here we have that on the chart, quite visible, quite obvious. Let's see what happened to a bearish extreme in the past. That was from February of this year. Successful signal, and of course we can go back in time and find multiple examples of successful bearish COT extreme signals in this market. Sugar tends to be a good example for COT extreme signals. And last but not least, let's open cotton with 106 report extreme over here. in large speculators and also in commercials. And again, we are talking about a bearish extreme. Now, of course, you may see that this has been going on for quite some time. We had a relative bullish extreme back over here in March, not as large as the one from August of last year. That sort of stopped this decline, and since then we are steadily decreasing from those bullish extreme levels and increasing towards the bearish side of the market. But if you look back over here to June of 2018, just where we had that beautiful bearish extreme top, we have space left to reach those levels, so we may need to wait a few more weeks, possibly month, before we reach that trend turning extreme level. So that was all for this review. Don't forget, you can look at all sorts of markets. I'm only showing you a few market categories. You can analyze the new COT report types, other data types that are available here. You can analyze any data set that you want. And of course, you can always dig deeper into the COT analysis by looking at, let's say, multiple report changes on any defined look back period you want. You can actually chart it as well. You may also look at the COT index, the COT move index. We have a beautiful long-term trend indicator that will help you. And of course, we also analyze volume and open interest. And of course, you can always go back in time and analyze past reports that you want. So there's a lot to do here at COT Base. I very much hope you enjoyed this review. I appreciate your attention. Have a great weekend. Take care. Goodbye.